All right, we are streaming. This time I made the made the smart move of turning the volume down so that as I'm monitoring, oh crap, I should be monitoring the chat. Here we go. I'll scooch that over to the side. Then it's not giving me feedback here. We're doing it again through the Mac today. And I think that worked out pretty well last time, and I'd like to continue doing so. You know, until something terrible happens, and I'm like, PC, please won't you take me back? But as you can see, today we have the 2-panel template set up. Last time we did that little bit about J Puff's endless birthday. Holy smokes. Everything was, it's just my birthday, it's my birthday, it's my birthday. No, it's not. Your birthday's on Sunday, you know. But, yeah, tonight we're going, as you can see, I'm wearing kind of a nice shirt. We're going to dinner with her parents at a nice seafood restaurant for her birthday. And then that's it until 2019. But in the spirit of fairness, I thought that I would show my birthday traditions, the Troll's birthday traditions, which are far more simple. So it should be a pretty easy one today. We've got the file all set up. Oh, and just a heads up, I posted here, and it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. But I'm not going to do a stream on Monday. I'll still do, because of Labor Day, I'll still do a comic that will release on Tuesday, and I'll post it to Patreon on Monday, just for their early sneak peek. But I don't know where I'm going to be on Monday morning, if I'm going to be at the cabin with no internet access, or if I'm just going to be too hungover, or what. But anyway, I'm taking the day off, and hopefully you guys get some time off to enjoy it. It's going to be rainy. It's Wisconsin. We've had lots of rain and flooding the last week or so. So it's not going to be an awesome weekend, but still, I'm taking a little time off. So there you go. All right, let's just jump right into this thing. We got the blob brush tool. Get that crazy man going at 3 points. The variation to 3. And we're on the blue line layer. Oh man, it's like we've done this before, kids. I was playing with another illustration program that's actually pretty cool, and it's set up for like comic artists. It's called iClip Studio and iClip Paint. But a lot of the it's not very intuitive. There's like just so many bells and whistles that it's got a real steep learning curve, and a lot of it is in Japanese. So I was playing with that. There's a chance maybe someday that we'll switch over to that if I can figure out that it's going to do a good vector art for us. I like to do the vector art so that the other vector files, you can just, they're smaller to store, and B, you can shrink them down to a business card size. You can blow them up to the side of a bus or a banner or a building or whatever, and without losing any resolution or anything like that. So I really like vector. If I can get this other program to, if it does vector, if I can overcome the learning curve, we'll probably switch over to that. But I'm so comfortable here in Illustrator. However, as we know, Illustrator pisses me off because of the loops that fill in on the beard and on the J Puff body. So I apologize for that. We got an incoming call, and I can't do anything. And it might be about that job interview. Woo! So anyway, we'll just live in suspense here for the next hour. So I'm glad you guys are here with me. We're going to start off, enough of my jibba jabba, with Troll. You've seen him before. We always start with his right ear. The call comes in like it's from Burlington. And the first time that the company, Burlington, Wisconsin, the first time that the company contacted me, I didn't pick it up because it said Burlington, Wisconsin. I thought, I don't know anybody in Burlington. And I get a lot of like robocalls, people trying to sell me all kinds of crap. So I didn't pick it up, and then it was the HR department for a company in West Bend, so I don't know why it was coming from Burlington. Maybe she telecommutes or something. So today he's got a festive happy birthday hat on. But anyway, the call came from Burlington, so I didn't answer it. And then when she left me a message, she's like, "Hey, give me a call back. I want to set up an interview." It's not what she sounded like at all. So I called her back, and then we had a good laugh that I had screened her call. All right. So that call that just came in was from Burlington. But it's weird, like how they spoof nearby cities. You know, they make it look like it's coming from wherever. When it's not really. It's a robocall from New Jersey, but it says that it's coming from rural Wisconsin. Someone left a voicemail. Might be. Or it could be a robocall voicemail. Usually, it'll be, you know, they do it, it's a recording, but it sounds like someone actually talking to you. They're like, "Hi, hey, this is Jim calling from, you know, OK Credit Union. I'm on a recorded line. Can you hear me okay?" And then they like pause and they wait for you to say yes or something. And I just know that they're waiting for you to say yes so that they can soundbite it. Maybe I'm paranoid, but so that they can soundbite it into like you saying yes to something, like you agreeing to, to give them all your money or something. I don't know, but yeah. So never say yes. I always say go fuck yourself and hang up. But your mileage may vary. And then also, if you get a call that says, like, "This is the IRS and you're gonna go to prison unless you call us back," the IRS will never ever call you on the phone. They will send you mail in the USPS. They will never call you on the phone. So don't ever give someone your information that says they're from the IRS, even if they're wearing a little badge that says IRS. Well, maybe then, if they're at your door, then it might be okay, but not if they call you. This is tips from your old Uncle Jaybird. Okay, so here is Troll, and he's mansplaining, just like I'm mansplaining. Art imitates life. All right, and then in the second one, we got to zoom in. Oops, there we go, wrong button. Because I want to have Troll hunched over, peeking out the window, like with his arm up, and just like two fingers separating the blinds, Let's see here. That's a good way to do that. That light actually kind of abuses me for his head, but all right. Oh, good times. So I've been doing a lot of research. Come on now. I flipped it around. It should have gone to eraser, but it didn't. Been doing a lot of research about self-publishing and things like that. So that's exciting for when we finally get a book off the ground. Or I've been thinking about doing like horror comics. Maybe start my own little publishing house. Publish some stuff. Alright, this is the whole reason we do Blue Line Kids. Alright, here's J-Puff. Good old long-suffering J-Puff. She puts up with my insanity. And I put up with hers. I mean, that's the important part of a good, healthy relationship. Alright, we'll just get the windowsill in here. So I've been researching some different comics and stuff like that. Oops. Just to see, like, the long form sequential art is a lot different than, you know, what we do here. Just pumping out this this strip in an hour, you know. With, you have to have real economy of line as far as you can't make too complicated of a scene, and the writing has to be real tight. And I think it's the same for long form sequential art for doing comic books. You still have to have that same economy, at least as far as the dialogue goes. But all right, speaking of dialogue, I think we're at the point here where we can save this and then start putting in the dialogue. Okay. So we draw out a paragraph box again, and we make sure our caps locks is on. The font that we use is Capilar. Say it with me, Capilar. Roll that R. Make sure the paragraph is centered and hyphenation's off. And I like to do it to 18, especially if there's not too much copy going on, not too much jibba jabba. And he's going to be saying, last week we outlined J-Puff's obsession with her birthday. In the interest of fairness, I hereby present the other side of the coin. Alright, so I said there wasn't going to be much copy, and then I read a big ass paragraph. So let's knock this down to 16. I think in the interest of transparency, all right, we'll adjust this. All right, and I think that we can, oh crap, I did that on the, all right, I did that on the blue line layer. I didn't do it on the balloon layer, but that's okay because we're gonna move this guy down anyway. No point in that being all crammed up there. And then I'm gonna cut it and go over here to the balloon layer, which is where it should be. Select that and then paste in place. Last week we outlined J-Puff's obsession with her birthday. In the interest of transparency, I here represent the other side of the coin, Troll's birthday. It feels flat to me. Last week we outlined J-Puff's obsession with her birthday. In the interest of transparency, with celebrating her birthday. In the interest of transparency, we hereby present the other side of the coin, Troll's birthday. Feels like it needs another word. Troll's birthday. What? Troll's it's not really paranoia. I don't like a fuss. I don't like to be bothered. So I pretty much hide out. It really, like, the most annoying thing for me having to do with birthdays in the modern age is like people wishing you happy birthday on Facebook when they would have no idea that it was your birthday without Facebook telling them. It feels hollow to me. I don't want the constant notifications. I don't want the spam. I just want to be left the fuck alone. And it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm getting so old, don't remind me. It's not that in the least. I'm not old at all up here. But it's just, it feels, save it. If you've got a real sentiment, give it to me. But anyway, so I don't tell anybody when my birthday is, and I don't make a big fuss of it. And I had the idea where I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna like cut off, like I'll lock down my Facebook wall so that people can't post on it, and then that will, that will keep people from posting on it. And so then after a couple days I unlocked it, and then people started posting on it like, hey, sorry I missed your birthday, and then everyone was like, oh, your birthday. So then it spread like the spam of the birthday notifications out over 4 days instead of just having one super full day of it. So now it's just locked forever. It's been locked since my last birthday, and it will remain locked for the foreseeable future. So anyway, not trying to be a spoil sport or anything. Last birthday being my first one with J Puff, and she's so excited about birthday parties. She let me hop back up here to the blue layer. I let her make a little bit of a fuss. So we had like an ice cream cake with 3 of my friends and played a board game, and that was super. That was enough for me. I had a couple drinks. That's it. I don't want a big hullabaloo. So, but looking at this, I think that I want to change his little party hat to his regular hat, and then I'm going to change in the second panel. I'm going to change J Puff's bow to a party hat. I think that makes more sense because the more I was talking about it, the more I was thinking, hey, she's the one apt to celebrate, not me. Okay, so but as long as we're doing dialogue here, I was gonna say, hey honey, happy maybe burr, so it's not bye. Maybe Bert. And that one we want to be big. And then this one. Quiet, you fools! Someone might hear you! We need to have that above the sight gag of him peeking through the blinds. I like it up here better. But we can knock it down to 18. Right now I have it at 21. Okay, now let's save that. Just taking a little second. That's what the Mac do. That's how the Mac rolls. All right, we're gonna hop back over here to the blue line layer and do, like I said, get that hat off of Troll in the first panel and put it on JPuff in the second. Come on now, I'm using the eraser end. That's the neat thing about Wacom tablets, when everything's rolling well, is that you flip it over and the back end is like an eraser, like on a pencil, and then the front end is like a pen. Except that's not working for me right at this instant. But generally it do. Generally it work. Alright. Glove brush. Let's just do his little hat over here on the side as usual. And she's got a hat. Alright, and let's do this lest we forget. Should be able to do that in my sleep by now. Alright, I think that conveys everything. Gonna have a delicious, nutritious Diet Pepsi for breakfast. They are not a sponsor of Troll and Friends. I should be though, I drink a lot of it. Alright, and then up to the ink layer. Up on the housetop, quick, quick, quick. That is not the right black. There you go. Alright, we are gonna draw us a troll. But yeah, my mind has been kind of a buzz lately after these books that I'm reading about different stories to publish. You know, I've got some horror characters that I've actually used in some paintings, like a gravedigger and his hunchback accomplice, that I thought would make a good serial. You know, like if they're in different adventures, different situations. And then maybe, you know, maybe put out little 22-page comic books and then an anthology when the time was right. In the meantime, still keep doing this Troll and Friends, just because it's growing a fan base, and B, I like it. It's cathartic. But I have a good friend named Frank Galloway, who is he's a really good short story writer, although I don't know that he's ever been published. He sends me some stuff that he works on, and I think, and he loves horror. It's his favorite genre. It's his favorite genre, and I think the two of us could work together pretty well, making some scripts and drawing some comics. Why not, right? You gotta have as many irons in the fire as possible. You know, I've reflected on it in the past. I don't know if I've done it actually in the stream here or not, or if it was just drunken reflection to J-Puff. I call her J-Pop, but in the comics she's J-Puff. That with my, you know, I'm often asked to be a guest at several conventions throughout the country for my graphic design, or my Dungeons and Dragons illustration and stuff like that, my old school stuff. And I'm neither extremely talented at it nor very prolific. I mean, I've always, you know, got something cooking, but I mean, there's guys out there that just blow me out of the water or in everything, and I'm at the conventions and they're not, and these are, you know, some of them are invitation only, and only 10 or so artists at some of the places, and somehow I make the cut, and I'm very blessed for that. Very thankful. And I think that sometimes I don't use the opportunity to my full advantage. Which is maybe something I need to work on. But it's great just to have it. It already has it. When I talk about it, it sounds like I'm bragging, and I'm definitely not. I'm trying to be appreciative of a situation that I found myself in somehow. But what an incredible opportunity. You know, at GaryCon specifically, I mean, there's like 8 guest artists there, including Jeff Easley, Larry Elmore, Diesel, Darlene, Jeff Carlisle. I mean, all these huge names, and me. You know, I always same with North Texas RPG. I mean, there are more guests there, but still, it's these luminaries. I would say that I'm the who's that of the who's who. And it's just an incredible opportunity. And so I think that the reason that my thought process was going there is that I feel like I squander it sometimes. By not being more prolific and working harder on my craft as far as that goes, as far as, you know, fantasy role-playing illustration goes. It's kind of something that I do because I can, and it makes me decent, you know, beer money. Especially with Gamehole Publishing, they've been using me a lot lately. But I tend to send my efforts elsewhere, and that is silly. All right, I want to get rid of that last line because we'll do that with the shade layer. So I've been reflecting on that as I've been researching, putting more irons in the fire that aren't fantasy art related. Although, you know, I could do fantasy comics. I think that's the fanciest hand that I've ever drawn on Troll. Come on. All right, I think that's enough. You get the idea. Hey, Rom, thanks for popping in, buddy. Hope it went well there with the doctor. Doctor! Alright, let's save this. Hey, Rom, I happy to announce that I made that painting of your cat. And I'm going to pop it in the mail today. So it'll go to Emma. I imagine it should be there Friday or Saturday. So I'll let you know what they tell me when I drop it in. I'm going to take it right to the post office because I don't trust putting enough postage on it otherwise. Although I guess I could just stick 2 stamps on it. I don't have a lot going on this afternoon. I got to run some other errands anyway, so I'll swing by the post office. All right. So we got the ink going on. Let's lock that. Hop up here to the balloon layer and draw our balloons in. That's a terrible. I don't want it to interfere with this awesome work I did on the blinds. So there we go. I think we got it. You're welcome, buddy. I was sorry to hear it. All right. Now, what I'm going to have to do for, actually, I guess for all the balloons is to put a white shape behind them using our good friend the shape tool. I guess on this one I didn't need to do it here. But that's okay, we're almost done with it. Oops. Okay. So we got that guy. We need him to get him back behind the words. So we just do option and then left bracket until he gets pushed back behind the other stuff on that layer. And likewise for this guy. Make a little shape the way the balloon is over the shades. And the same thing, option left bracket to push them back. We can center this one better. I think I want to make this a little bit bigger. She's just about to be yelling it from the rooftops. Fix the lighting on it a little. Alright, and then the white shape behind here. Which is coming in black because it picked up the black ink from the type in that other balloon, but that's okay. We'll change it to white here once we're done. Or maybe I'll change it right now. On account of, I need to be able to see where the black line ends. That's right, we can always adjust this. Alright, and then just like the others, we select that balloon we just made, option left bracket back until the words pop through. There you go. Alright. Alright, let's save that. And then we'll hop into the shading layer. You know, the curiosity is getting the best of me. I'm going to look at the transcription of the voicemail and see if this was good news. Yeah, cool. They're calling me back for another interview, for a group interview. So that's pretty cool. Good news. You guys saw it here first online. I should, you know, learn to answer calls from Burlington. Alright, so we are doing a middle gray. Drag the tablet back over here. Yeah, one thing that they told me in the interview, and that I've read actually in researching them online, is that they're slow to hire. They make you jump through a bunch of hoops, and fast, fast to fire if it's not working out. But that it's an awesome place to work for if you make the cut. All right, so let's zoom in here. Why is my eraser not working like it should today? Because there's always technical difficulties. So Janelle's niece is potty training currently, and so Janelle bought her some songs about potty training, or like a kids. It's actually like a kids program, a kids app for the Kindle Fire, and I've had this stupid potty training song stuck in my head all day. So hopefully it doesn't make me have to pee. If you'd like to hear it, I'll sing it for you. Oh sure, why not? If you gotta go potty, stop and go right away. That's just been in my head all morning. Hopefully now it's in yours. Because if you gotta go potty, stop and go right away. See if we can get that in there for you. I'll get his beard here in a second when we use a bigger brush. I'm going to keep this brush a little bit smaller. For the fine work, and then make it bigger when I have to do his beard. Hey, thanks, Ron. We'll see. I mean, it's another round of interviews. But, you know, it's all right. A little bit under the windowsill there. Maybe some little interesting marks into the corner. And then let's not forget our good friend J-Puff up here. And her festive party hat. Brad, I just got your text. They looks like they called and left a message, invite me to another interview for a group interview. So that makes a phone interview when I first returned their call, and then a 500-word essay that I had to write for them about their company mission, and then an in-person interview with 2 people, and then a take-home editing test, a proofreading test, and then they checked my references, and now they're calling me in for a group interview. So that's good. One step closer to being gainfully employed. This time I didn't forget to do any of the... Yeah, I know, Rom. Sorry. It's just... You can probably hear me breathing and the scraping of the stylus on the tablet. And this Mac, the fan always runs pretty fast when we're multitasking with it. The truth is I just forget to look it up in the time that I'm not streaming, and then by the time I'm getting everything set up in the morning, I roll out of bed and make sure OBS and YouTube aren't giving me any trouble. Yeah, I completely forget about music. Appreciate that, Brad. He says that I can use any of his music, but that I'd probably hate it. I was surprised that time that I went to go see you play in San Antonio, and it was just like regular rock and not thrash and metal. I guess I saw you a couple times in San Antonio. Was that at the Blue Beacon? No, it was somewhere down there in St. Mary's, wasn't it? Alright, let's knock this down again to 4 points. Let's cast some shade on these shades real quick. Real quick once. All right. Let's save that. I think you're probably right, Brad. And most clubs probably are. Remember there was one up, I don't know, by the loop, I guess. I don't know. I forget exactly where. And then one down on St. Mary's. I think I only saw you live twice. Okay, now we are to the halftone portion of the show, everybody's favorite part, where they watch me draw shapes and then pick halftones. I actually downloaded more halftones. Oh, good times. All right. So this one I'm just going to do a bunch in the back. So instead of like drawing a big simple shape and then having to knock troll out of the outline, I'm just going to make the outline go all the way around troll. Whoa, why did that? Nah, we'll fix that in a second. My shape got all weird there. But it's nothing that's going to interfere with what we're doing right now. So let's just stay focused. And remember, the focus spelled backwards is suck off. You don't like my song, Rom? If you gotta go potty, stop and go right away. It might come in handy someday. When you're working on your DM notes or, you know, heaven forbid, out on a hike. And you're like, oh, I can push through this. I can push through. I'll be okay. I'm a big boy. And then you have an accident. You're going to go, why didn't I listen to Troll and his delightful piss song? Let's try this again. There we go. That's better. And now we search for the proper halftone. There's some new halftones. Whoa, trippy. Oh, those aren't halftones. Those are the those are the patterns I think that I added last time trying to fill in that chair. Although I don't mind this guy. Let's just see how distracting he is. No, he's okay. I like him. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is hop over to the shading layer and delete these guys. Alright, and then that way I can drop a halftone in the back without the shading looking kind of weird over it. And basically what I want it to just kind of come in here. And then down to about there. And I'll do the same thing as I did before, is like just make it outline the troll, and then that way I don't have to go in and block the troll in with white. Although I don't like that pattern for this frame. Yeah, that one's better. And then I'm going to use that same pattern down here under the window. Okay, I want to make this happy birthday just a little bit smaller, or the balloon bigger. I guess I could make the balloon bigger, because I don't like the way that the BIRT. There we go. Then we gotta knock that back behind the words. There we go. I didn't like the way the BIRT ran into. It was like just squeezing up against the side of the balloon. They need a little bit of room to breathe. Yeah, see? You got it, Ron. If you're gonna hail the deep ones, you gotta hail them right away. Alright, so let's save this, and I think, kids, that we might have a comic strip made in under an hour, despite all my blathering. I was really running off at the mouth earlier. Alright, last week we outlined J-Puff's obsession with celebrating her birthday. In the interest of transparency, I hereby present the other side of the coin, Troll's birthday paranoia. Hey honey, happy birth... Quiet, you fool! Someone might hear you! Perfect. Perfect. If I do say so myself. Alright, well that's it for today. And like I said, we're not going to have one on Monday, just because of Labor Day. But then we'll have one on Wednesday. And my plan in between then is to revamp the Troll and Friends website and maybe the jasonbraun.com. So if I do that, I'll definitely show it off with a link in the Patreon. Yeah, we got a lot of plans. A lot of crap. All right, but anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate your support, and I hope you all have a very nice holiday weekend.